Homemade hamburger helper in only 22 minutes. You guys are gonna love this one. Hi, my name's Christina. I'm with eatingonadime.com. Welcome to my sister Carrie's kitchen. There's Rio. That's my little puppy, Rio. If you guys have not heard, my sister and I both adopted sibling dogs. So it's Rosie and Rio, and they're 1 year old now, and they love being in our videos. So you may see their tails running by. They're always trying to see if we drop anything that they can mooch off of, you know. All right, back to the recipe. Today, I'm gonna show you how to make the best homemade hamburger helper. I'm a child of the 80s and 90s, so I ate Hamburger Helper growing up. And even though it's pretty nostalgic, this homemade version is 1,000 times better. And it's probably just as easy to make because it's ready in only 22 minutes. I've linked the full recipe in the description below, as well as all the utensils I'm using, so make sure you check it out. First, let's get everything ready. This recipe cooks so quickly. I always recommend that you get all your veggies, all your add-ins, all of that ready and within arm's reach of your stovetop. So when you're making it, you don't have to worry about anything burning or drying out. First, for this recipe, we need a 4th onion diced. I am using a yellow onion. You could use a white onion if you prefer. And I'm going to use our veggie chopper that we are obsessed with. Look at this thing. You just put the veggies in it and it magically chops it. We got this on Amazon and my sister Carrie and I have been using this nonstop and we love it. Of course, it's linked in the description below for you. On the onion, just cut off the ends and then peel off that outer layer that looks kind of tired. That's what I say. It's kind of weak and flimsy. It's not crisp. I'm going to peel that off. I'm going to get rid of all of this. This is a nice sink here that we like to use for stuff. Then we're going to cut it in half and then take one of your halves and cut that in half again. Then with the veggie chopper, take that 1/4 of an onion and you want to press the little pointing end down into it so that it stays and it doesn't move. And then you just chop and you have beautifully chopped onions. All right, that's already ready. Now we're going to go ahead and shred the cheese. Now, fresh shredded cheese makes everything better. We are all about quick shortcuts, but we're not going to do it on our cheese. Shred your own. It tastes better. And of course, with this another kitchen gadget, it's super easy to shred as well. So I'm going to link this below. It's a really fun shredder. What you can do is it will lock onto your kitchen countertop and then you can shred it from there. Now, in this recipe, we use 2 cups shredded cheddar cheese and 1 cup shredded mozzarella cheese, which is about 2 cups is about 8 ounces in a block. So I'm just going to press this right on in. You can hold it in with this topper and then just move the turner here and it'll shred the cheese. Now, when we add it to our hamburger helper, we're going to add it all in at once. So I'm just putting it all on the same plate. You don't have to worry about keeping them separate because it's all going to get melted and combined together in the dish as well. Look how easy that is, friends. And if you want, you can just use your hand and pull them out, or as you shred more cheese, it'll naturally just come out. So I'm going to do the whole block of cheddar for the full 8 ounces, which is approximately 2 cups. And then we'll do half of the mozzarella block as well. So the cheddar is all done. Now we're going to do some mozzarella cheese. We're just adding it to the same plate because, again, it all gets added at the same time to the dish, so it'll get combined one way or the other. Now, you can switch up the cheeses based on your preference. I think pepper jack would be fun, add a little kick. You could do Colby Jack if you would like, or you could just do Colby, whatever you love. These are just they melt well and it's creamy and they're pretty affordable as well. Okay, so you always have to taste test the shredded cheese to make sure it's not poisonous. All right, these are all ready. Let's get to the skillet and whip up some hamburger helper. So heat a large, deep skillet over high heat. Add in 1 pound ground beef. I'm using lean just based on my preference today. You can use a higher fat content if you would like. You're just going to drain off the excess grease after you brown it. Then we're going to add in that diced onions. and break it up, and we're just going to cook until this beef is brown. Now, Carrie and I are both obsessed with this meat chopper. Super affordable. If you don't have one of these yet, you don't know what you're missing, of course, I'll link it for you if you need one. So let the beef set for a bit, and then as it starts to brown, you can break it up. The puppies wanted to jump on and say hi to you guys as well. And we're just going to continue to cook that over medium-high heat until it's no longer pink. So it's coming along. It's still a little pink, so we're going to let it cook a little bit longer. But the reason I put the onions in here now is they're getting nice and soft. So even if you have picky eaters, these onions really cook down and become tender. So my picky eaters don't even mind onions in this recipe. So the beef is nice and brown, no longer pink, crumbled up with our meat chopper. Now is when you want to drain off any excess grease if you have any in the pan. Mine's looking good, so I don't have to worry about that step. Woohoo! Now we're going to season it up. Start with a teaspoon of minced garlic. I am using the jarred pre-minced garlic. You can definitely mince your own if you prefer. A teaspoon of salt. A teaspoon of black pepper. And then 1 tablespoon of paprika. Add that all in and then stir to combine to season that beef. Now, Carrie and I are also both obsessed with this spoon/spatula. This thing is amazing. The brand is the Stop thing, so make sure you check it out. We like that you can cook with it, and then it's easy to serve as well because it's like a spoon. Then add in 2 cups water. You could probably use beef broth, but honestly, use water because it's free. And then 1 cup milk. Any type of milk that you have in your refrigerator, as long as it doesn't have a flavor on it, you're good. We are using 2%. And then we are going to add in 2 cups macaroni noodles. Now I'm using the smaller noodles. It works best in this recipe. You want to stir to combine all these ingredients and then turn this heat up, and we're going to bring the mixture to a boil. So once it's boiling, cover it with a lid and reduce the heat down to low. And we're gonna let this cook for about 9 to 12 minutes until that pasta is cooked to al dente. So, and most of the liquid is absorbed. So I'm gonna check it at 9 and see where we're at from there. Also, I wanted to correct, I did 1.5 cups milk instead of 1 cup. So sorry about that, friends. It's been cooking for about 9 minutes now, so let's check it. Give it a good stir. And don't be afraid to sample one of the pastas. Just pull it out and test it and see if it's the tenderness that you prefer. I'm going to check on one of these. I think I just want a couple more minutes based on my preference, and then it'll be ready to go. It's been cooking for about 2 more minutes, and it looks perfect. Now don't worry about the thin sauce, because when we add in the cheese and let it set, it is going to thicken up slightly. So, all right, go ahead and turn it off the heat. And then add in all that beautiful shredded cheese that you just shredded. Again, you can measure this out if you want. It's 2 cups of the cheddar and 1 of the mozzarella, but I'm kind of in the more cheese is better camp, so I'm okay if it's a little heavy. Take it and use your spoon spatula, and we're going to stir this in. Do not add heat back on, because the heat from the meal is going to melt this cheese and make it super creamy and delicious. Once it's all stirred together, let it set for a few minutes, just sitting here on the stovetop, and that sauce is going to thicken and the cheese will melt. So it's been sitting for about 5 to 10 minutes. You can kind of see some of the grease from the cheese. That's normal. Don't freak out. Just stir it in, and it's going to incorporate it. And look how amazing that looks. All right, guys, that's it. 22 minutes, and it's ready to enjoy. Now it's time for my favorite part, trying it out. Woo! Yum, I'm so hungry. I can't wait to try it. So my favorite thing about this is you can easily serve it with a simple side salad, your favorite roasted veggie, whatever you have on hand. If you need a quick and easy dinner, I always recommend just serving it with salad to give it a nice little healthy side dish. And what's also cool is you can easily throw in some veggies to this recipe as well. Just when you cook those noodles, you could throw in zucchini, broccoli, peas and carrots, whatever you like, and it would be amazing. All right, you ready? I'm not lying when I say I could eat this every week. It's so good, and it's not just for kids. Trust me, adults love this too. Thank you guys so much for joining me today. I hope you try this recipe out. Remember, it's just 22 minutes and everyone's going to love it. The link is in the description below. Once you try it out, just leave us a comment on the actual post itself for the recipe. That's how we hear from you guys, and we love hearing what you think. And don't forget to shout out Rosie and Rio. Rosie's like, I want to bite in the background there. All right, guys. Don't forget to like and subscribe if you like today's video so you never miss an easy family-friendly recipe. And I will see you guys next time in my sister's kitchen. Bye, friends. Have a great day. Okay, wait. Let's meet Rio. He's a little, he wants to try the Hamburger Helper. He's a little nervous about his haircut. He went to the lake and got into some stickers, so we had to get a pretty shortcut to get him out. But this is my little baby Rio. He doesn't bark as much as Rosie, but I'm sure he participates. Say hi. All right, guys. He knows that you're going to love this Hamburger Helper. Bye, friends.